Here, two important terms we see. One is systole and second one is diastole. So this systole is known as contraction and diastole is known as relaxation. One cycle of contraction, which is systole, and relaxation, diastole, constitutes the Kardlich cycle. The average number of heartbeat of a person at rest is about 70 to 72 per minute, but the number of heartbeats increases too much after the physical exercise for which a person is excited. Let us talk about next new topic, which is circulation of blood in animals. In birds and mammals, heart is four-chambered. There is separation of oxygenated blood from deoxygenated blood in all, including humans, and this allows a highly efficient supply of oxygen to the body. This is because these animals have high energy need. They use this energy to maintain their body temperature, and they called warm-blooded animals. All animals having four-chambered heart have double circulation, in which the blood passes through the heart twice in one complete cycle of the body. I repeat, all animals having four-chambered heart have double circulation, in which the blood passes through heart twice in one complete cycle of the body. In the human circulatory system, the pathway of the blood from the heart to the lungs and back to heart is known as pulmonary circulation, and the pathway of the blood from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart is known as systemic circulation. So this pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation is all about two types of circulation. In pulmonary circulation, the pathway of blood from heart to lungs and back to heart, and in systemic circulation, the pathway of blood from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart. Okay. So when blood flow from heart to lungs and back to heart to lungs and lungs to heart, then this is said to be pulmonary circulation. But the flow of blood from heart to rest all the part of the body and back to again heart, then it's said to be systemic circulation. These two types of circulation are collectively called double circulation. Okay. So if anybody asks you about double circulation, then you have to explain about pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. In fish, two-chamber heart is present and the blood is pumped to the gills, where it gets oxygenated and supplied directly to the rest of the body. Blood goes only once through the heart during the one cycle of circulation, which is known as single circulation. So in fish only two chambers are there and only single circulation are done, and blood goes only once through the heart during the one cycle. That's why it is said to be single circulation. In amphibians and reptiles, temperature of the body depends upon the temperature of environment. Cold-blooded animals, they have three-chambered heart, two arteria and single ventricles, and possess a double circulation. They can tolerate some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. They do not use energy to maintain their body temperature. Mostly reptiles have a three-chambered heart. However, crocodile's heart is four-chambered, like that of birds and mammals. So this is all about circulation of blood in animals, including birds and mammals, in fishes and in amphibians and reptiles. Let us talk about lymph or lymph. Tissue fluid. It is another type of fluid found in our body, and it also involves in transportation. It is found when some amount of plasma, proteins and blood cells convert into intercellular space in the tissue through the pores present in the walls of capillaries. Lymph is similar to the plasma of blood, but it is colorless and contains less protein. Lymph from the intercellular space drains into lymphatic capillaries, which further join to form large lymph vessels that finally open into larger veins. So basically, lymph is also a transporting. It is also involved in a transportation, and it is also a type of fluid which is similar to plasma of the blood, but it is colorless and contain less protein than plasma. Lymph from the intercellular space drain into lymphatic capillaries, which further join to form large lymph vessels and finally open into large veins. Functions of lymph. The important function of lymph are as follows. It is involved in transportation of substance where blood vessels do not reach. It carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. It maintains the balance between tissue fluid and blood. Lymph node produce WBC that prevent infection. I repeat, first one is it involves in transportation of substances where blood vessels do not reach. Second one, it carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. Third, it maintains the balance between tissue fluid and blood. Fourth, lymph nodes produce WBC that prevent infections. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you understand the function of lymph and the function of blood, about blood pressure, about blood vessels. One thing that I want to tell you, please focus on reading skill. If you read twice any chapter, then you repeat the lectures or videos of chapter, then you understand more. Okay, thank you. Please read the book.